begin by saying, what else can you say after what those beautiful children said and what Father John said regarding the ministry of Father Vladimir and his soulmate, his beautiful Matushka Margarita. And speaking again on a personal note, I too had a similar impression of Father Vladimir. When you heard the word or the name Father Vladimir Berzonsky, you thought of this man who had this successful experiment, as Father John alluded to, this first time project, if you will, for this new community in Cleveland. At that time, when he came to the deanery, I was 12 years old. And dating us both, I guess. But little by little, as I became aware of the church, you kept hearing about Holy Trinity and the work that was being done there. And then, we got to go there for our deanery mission services. We got to find out what was happening there. And so when his name came up, just like Father John said, by reputation, it was a high name. And so like, when you heard Father Vladimir Berzonsky, oh, he writes for the OCA newspaper, and he published The Gift of Love, and he has those bulletin backs that we've all used over the years. I mean, I haven't had to write in my whole 27 years of the priesthood, because I just use his stuff. But I want to reflect to you because there's a very practical side to Father Vlad that touched me deeply personally at one point. I want to tell the story. I hope he'll be okay with it. I was a newly ordained priest, maybe 1 or 2 years. I think I was in Byesville, my first parish. I was serving in Byesville. And for some reason, I forget the exact occasion, the deanery clergy all came together for a liturgy. And Father Vlad and I, we were vesting together in the, before the service. And I don't know if you know this, but when you vest in a group at a con celebration, sometimes it's a little bit more casual than when the priest does it by himself. And we weren't attending as strictly to our vesting prayers probably as we should have been. But Father Vlad and I were just standing next to each other vesting, and we put our stikars on, and then we put the belt on. And as he was finishing up his belt, he just simply said to me, and Father Drew, when your belt is all tightened up, you take your stikar and you pull it like this and you tuck it up underneath your belt, and it frames the stikarian out nicely, and it looks really nice. and I came to call that the Parma tuck. And this is, I'm speaking honestly now, every single liturgy when I vest and I go like this, chink, I have a little fond memory of that time that Father Berzonsky taught me that. And he's a part of my liturgy whether I want him to be or not. So, I mean, not to belabor the issue, but I always appreciate that about him, and I use it to this day. And I've passed it on to other newly ordained priests. And I said, Father Joe, when you're done putting your belt on and it's nice and tight, just take your stikar and just give it that little tug. So on behalf of the Cleveland Deanery, I would just like to thank Father Vlad for all his years, not only as the pastor of Holy Trinity, but as kind of our unofficial historian in the church at our deanery meetings. We'd look to him, he'd tell us the stories about all the older bishops and stuff, and he's been kind of our consultant all these years. And I would like to specifically thank him for his support and his love of the church, not only in the parish, but in the Cleveland Deanery, and also for the support that he always received from his beautiful Matushka Margarita. Thank you. God bless.